I vividly remember everything. We were already hearing it from other units that they were testing positive. What is this COVID that we are talking about?
The virus was so pervasive in our geography that there was no question it was going to come walking in our door.
It found its evil way into our building, and it was going to be very hard to get it out.
One moment that stands out to me is a call I received from CEO of a local hospital. He said something to me that I repeated over and over again to our team, which was, Carol, don't send them to the hospital. Keep them there. What he was saying to me was these 85-year-olds were not going to be the number one on the triage list. But we recognized that we had to change our role and that we had to be something that we hadn't been before.
I'll be honest, I was fearful. I'm fearful for myself. I'm fearful for my coworkers. I'm fearful for my elders. And I'm fearful for my family.
My wife, she suffered with asthma. So putting pressure on me, why should I go on to work? And so, got to do what I got to do.
It was like, you're not scared, you have kids, you have your husband. You're not scared. I said, well, somebody have to do it.
But the toughest one is to explain it to my 60-year-old boy. And he questioned me like, Mom, do you still love me? I said, why are you asking? Of course Mommy loves you. But why aren't you not hugging and kissing me anymore?
It wasn't the Jewish home anymore. It was so different.
People were very fearful of going into rooms with our elders who had the coronavirus. We had a lot.
I remember walking down one hallway and saying, this is like a war zone.
Once we had known the first case of COVID, fear kicked in, the fear, and then the uncertainty, what's gonna happen.
It was the unfamiliar familiar in a way that is like nothing I've ever experienced.
Everybody was isolated. And not just isolated during meals, but really now isolated for the whole day.
Isolating the elder for 24/7, being alone there. And you're wearing a mask and you're wearing a gown, not seeing your face.
You'd knock on their door, bring in their food, try to keep it positive because you could see the fear in their eyes.
And I felt bad for the residents that did have the coronavirus. So I took the isolations and I gave the best care as I can.
We became their immediate family, so to speak. I see my mother, I see my father.
What was hard was seeing individuals week after week crouching down and down and down. And we saw the effects of the isolation.
Some of our physicians were fairly convinced that this was going to be all palliative care, that people were not going to survive. And we were not convinced. We said, no, we're not going down without a fight. This is not the way this is going to be. What our goal was to find every single possible tool, technique, and bit of knowledge to help us save our elders.
Day by day, there was a different protocol for us to follow.
Not one, not 3 pages, like at least 5, 6 pages of new recommendations and policies and procedures that you need to follow. And it seems like it's changing beneath your eyes.
It was just crazy. It was system overload.
The kitchen staff was at less than 50%, so they weren't going to get the meals out unless people came in, and so that's what we did.
We were universal workers at the time. We were housekeepers, we were nurses, we were dietitians, we were everything pretty much.
I mean, nobody sat down. Everyone was helping everybody.
We took every idea we heard and we implemented it here.
My role was to say, what more? What else? What else? What else? And saying, we are going to save everybody.
All right, come on, everybody, come on. Follow me, everybody.
can't fight if you don't have calories. And being isolated, even if you're not ill, people didn't have appetites.
It was clear that a piece of broccoli wasn't gonna help someone with COVID. They needed calories, they needed hydration. So we came up with a COVID diet.
I took maybe, not gonna lie, 2 boxes a day of ice cream. Ice cream, I think, is also what saved them.
We are knocking on their doors to bring them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Why can't we bring them the quarantini?
We heard the hospitals were turning a repositioning.
They were turning patients onto their stomachs to help them to breathe better when they were on ventilators. So we said, okay, well, what can we do here?
As a leader, you have to kind of have a poker face. I couldn't show them I was scared, as scared as I was, especially, being as old as I am.
I was scared, I'm not gonna lie, but you need to pull yourself together and said, we could do this.
You're assigned to do this, and you have to deliver. It's like a challenge to me that, you know what? We got this.
I did feel this sense of such failure at not being able to really achieve that objective of keeping people safe. And we had to be confident even when we weren't confident, because you can't fall apart. We don't have the luxury of falling apart.
We all work together, and I think that's what made the difference.
And saved a lot of lives.
It was really hard to stop this virus from spreading. And we did get control of it, and it did stop.
The elders started eating slowly and regaining their strength.
When we started discharging people from the COVID units, that means they were recovered, fully recovered from the virus.
And the entire building, even if you weren't standing in that hallway, the entire building felt lighter as we did this.
I could still remember June 2nd when our administrator said, we do not have a COVID case in our facility. It was victorious.
How you feeling?
It definitely has changed me.
I don't even regret having been a part of it. It made me feel like I was a real nurse and a human being.
It's a big relief, and I said to the staff, look what you guys did.
So, are we heroes? I don't know. I signed up and came to work every day because the people who lived here didn't have a choice not to be here.
This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a part of something critical, something bigger than me.
But we were here to do this, to have as many people as possible come out the other side stronger than ever.
I don't want to be fooled again. I was slapped once silly because I thought we'd never get the COVID. I will not sit back and think for a second that we can't be right back where we were.
We're nowhere near the end. We're nowhere near anywhere. We don't know anything.
Shabbat shalom. Good Shabbos, everyone.
We are ready. We will address it firmly and strongly and immediately if it comes.
You never know what's gonna happen. This the world we gotta live in now. The new normal.